Somnala, Plentiologist.
Plenteous greetings. Today we bring you King Somnala's Prediction of Prophecies Update 2022. On the 9th of January 2022, His Majesty predicted and said,
Next week I'll try to show you things that are going to happen in South Africa. There's going to be a split of ideologies, philosophies, faith, beliefs, opinion. A lot is going to happen.
News reports of national leaders splitting in ideas. COSATU 14 National Congress on the 26th of September 2022. The chairperson of the ANC, Gwede Mantashe, was booed off the stage by delegates to stop speaking as they echoed their dissatisfaction due to their empty promises. He responded to this as an object of abuse, a sign of disrespect, and an immature act to the ANC. He further questioned as to why they were served divorce papers in the public.
ANC chairperson Gwede Mantashe has decided to leave COSATU's 14th National Elective Congress.
Delegates of the conference didn't want us to talk to them. We must just humbly accept that, hear their complaints, take them back and report to them. It's not the end of the road. I also took note of the issues that were raised by the Communist Party, and were whispering there and said, why does the party serve divorce papers in public? They must send divorce papers to us, we read them so we can respond to them. That's it.
It's going to be a strong, I don't know how to say, beef up. ANC.
In the ANC.
So strong that if we are not praying, it will take our country back to a time of, I would call it, banana country.
Banana Republic.
There is a split endorsement of current nominees for the presidential candidates, including President Cyril Ramaphosa, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, Zweli Mkhize, endorsed by the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, as well as Lindiwe Sisulu.
Let me teach you what God was telling me. He said, how I wish politicians will hear this. When you look at the story of Guptas, the story of Zuma, the story of Oppenheimer, you can go on and on. Whoever today is in prison as a black person for whatever corruption, we have not defeated oppression, corruption that came through oppressors, slaves, masters. As your king, I uttered defined sentences, and I want you to write down this. And I'll dwell a little bit on next week. Lift your hands. Speak, Lord, to me. Speak, Lord, to me. I need your word. I need your word. There is a certain disaster that I see. In fact, I see a mountain. I see dirty water. It's like this thing is split in the mountain. And also I see the issue of mine. I don't know what is going to happen, but it's going to be a big issue. That's what I see.
News reports of a mine bursting in Jagersfontein, Free State, on the 16th of September 2022.
Massive flooding has taken place. It's happened after the mine dam burst there, causing flooding in large parts of the area. The Free State Emergency Medical Services say a pregnant woman is amongst the 23 people who are receiving medical treatment at the hospital in Jagersfontein. We understand 6 others have also been transferred to the Albert Nzula in Tromsburg to be treated for hypothermia. 2 of them have sustained fractures.
29 July 2022, during a night of plenty service in Lusikisiki, Eastern Cape in South Africa, King Somnala prophesied of dirty water.
I see water, I see trouble. I see water, I see trouble. I see water, I see trouble. I see water. And the Lord is even showing me very dirty water. I'm not sure whether there's going to be water trouble or scarcity. I see water, I see trouble in the water. I even see things like worms in the water. And I see stomach problems. Some of the things not for us to interpret.
On the 21st of August 2022, the Daily Maverick reported that a Durban mother had died from diarrhea after drinking polluted tap water. There was also a case of food poisoning reported in India on the 9th of August 2022, where there were 23 children who were reported to be sick due to food poisoning caused by a midday meal or drinking contaminated water. Also on the 9th of August 2022, a sewage leaked into the Val Dam as Mpumalanga water treatment plants had failed. On the 3rd of September, our health reported that a 9-year-old was diagnosed with bilharzia. Bilharzia, or snail fever, is a disease caused by worms carried by freshwater snails.
On the 2nd of July 2022, during a night of plenty service, His Majesty King Somnala saw the splitting of blood and urged the Plentian nation to pray unceasingly.
I stop the blood. I see the blood spilting in September. In October, I see things that we cannot explain unless we pray. I see dogs all over the streets. In the spirit, they are swallowing people's lives. I cannot explain what will happen in October unless we pray unceasingly for the month of September. I see it tempered with our economy.
Ngivala ukhondolo lezingozi eyimotweni zethu singomnala. Khondolo lokufa mechanically. My accident, I stop it. I go to September. I see the blood. I see the split of blood. September. September! Light! As September song, I can't explain what I see. Bomnala, I can't explain what I see. I see the blood splitting.
All over media, truck accidents over the road with little or no survival. The Plentian nation prayed unceasingly that night for what His Majesty saw. He continued to encourage everyone present at the night of plenty service to light their candles and rebuke what was coming.
A gruesome accident in Pongola on the 16th of September, where a truck driver crashed into an oncoming bakkie, claimed the lives of 21 people.
The KwaZulu-Natal provincial government authorities have expressed shock and sadness over the gruesome crash on the N2 near Pongola that claimed 21 lives yesterday. 19 of the victims were children. They were being transported home from school in a bakkie when the vehicle was involved in a crash with a truck. Rescue and recovery efforts by paramedics and emergency continued late into the night.
The truck was driving along R34. Jesus Christ. Jesus!
There were 3 accidents on the R34 on the 19th of September. On the 2nd of July 2022, the King predicted a tampering with the economy again.
Listen, I see kutemperisha le economy yethu again.
The current economic status of South Africa was reported that it is due to worsen due to load shedding in South Africa going up to stage 6, which caused an estimate of 4 billion rands a day being lost in South Africa's economy. After 2 consecutive quarters of a positive growth in South Africa, reports on the 6th of September 2022 stated that the South African gross domestic profit GDP is reported to have declined by 0.7% in the second quarter of 2022. This is credited to the lack of economic growth and the very high unemployment rate in the country.
If we can make it on this one, uma singakwazi ukuma kulokhu kube sinqobile. Uma kuthi memeza memeza, uma kuthi khala khala. Who knows your tears may save us.
Hello again. Now, the country's current economic troubles are said to be a recipe for disaster. That's the perspective of Efficient Group Chief Economist Davi Roth, who's warning, in fact, that things are set to worsen. Davi says the problem, economic challenges, are due mainly to lack of political leadership in steering things in the right direction, in steering the country in the right direction.
So it's been a tough 10 years, but especially the last 2 years or so, and I'm afraid for the next couple of years, things are going to get from bad to worse. The most obvious example is simply Eskom. And I think what's going to happen to Eskom is pretty much the same what has happened to South African Airways, which is what is currently happening to the Transnet, what is currently happening to the post office.
Now South Africa is facing its worst electricity crisis. Rolling blackouts across the country almost on a daily basis are weighing on the country's economy naturally.
The power rationing is affecting homes, public services, and even business. A disaster for Africa's most industrialized economy. Our correspondent Adrian Krish sent us this report.
Many businesses and factories are forced to close. Others get generators or improvise. The state power utility Eskom has been blamed for mismanagement and corruption.
Listen, I see kutemperisha le economy yethu again.
The state power utility Eskom has been blamed for mismanagement and corruption.
I see October things that we cannot understand unless we pray. Unless we pray. I see dogs in the street. I see in the spirit, spiritual dog is consuming life.
We saw all over media claims of people who have been attacked, bitten, or eaten by dogs. On the 7th of September, the Courier reported a girl who was said to be recovering from a dog bite. On the 14th of September, 9 News reported an 89-year-old woman who died after a dog attack.
Dog attack in Golden. That boy has been released from the hospital and is recovering from his injuries. Yesterday, we learned his 89-year-old grandmother died from her injuries. The dogs were part of their family. Both dogs in the case have been euthanized.
I see dogs in the street consuming life. I see dogs in the street consuming life. I see dogs in the street consuming life.
On the 26th of September, the South African reported a 10-year-old boy who was mauled to his death by the family's 2 pit bull dogs. A post on social media by Nelly Zanobuhle Tabede read,
Yo bafethu ngiseklinikhi njengamanje ama-cases abantu abalunywe yizinja abasemnambithi kuthiwa abaqaphele kunezinja ezisabelele idolobha ziyalumana aphi amanga kaSomnala and izinja ziphumile. Be careful bafethu.
If we are not praying September, terrible. And October I can't explain. But if we can stop it on September, I see gold on October.
The Plentiologist Nation offered their prayers lighting candles as per the King's instruction from June 2022. On the Lord's Day celebration service on the 25th of September, King Somnala explained to the Plentiologist Nation that had they not prayed the way that they have been praying, the reports that we are getting from media would be far worse than what we are currently seeing. Reports from international and national media platforms have also affirmed the predictions of the King. We see the manifestation of the prediction and the prophecies of the oracle of God.
Listen, how I miss the praying church of Nala Mandate, who leave everything and come and sleep in church. If we are not going to deal with this, I see war. This is not for you to go and tell the world, but it's for you to go from here and tell and kneel before God of plenty. We can save our country. INGOZI oh SIYAYIVAL oh thina ake ngizophezulu thina SIYAYIVAL thina SIYAYIVAL amadoda ingozi SIYAYIVAL phela into ebengizelela inkulu ile enganyenza
Somnala, Plentiologist. His Majesty, King Somnala, the Plentiologist. Somnala,